Hi guys, it's Laura and I appreciate you coming to my channel. We are going to be discussing diaries and journals and my own journals at some point and vintage journals. So this particular writer is from New Brunswick, Canada, and her name is Moinetta. And I've read a few pages and she is quite, I think she's a little spicy, a little, she is spunky. So I think we're going to enjoy reading her entries. This was written in 1953 and it is a super sweet diary. It says 5-year diary, but she just used every page, once basically. So it has this cute little lock and it did come with the key. It is unlocked right now. Isn't that awesome? And the pages. This is just my own little marker there. She has written in many of the pages, and her handwriting, while it is small and at moments nice, it is also very difficult to read. So I hope you can bear with me. And what I thought we would do is read 7 to 14 days at a time. And what I'm going to do is try to, at some point, be a little creative with the information that I found out, add in some history and some visuals, such as if there's an address, I would like to show what the address looks like now without talking about exactly where it's at. So I am going to read names because this is from the 50s and it's, hopefully I do this justice. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I am sure there's going to be plenty of laughs and some seriousness in these. I say these because I have a whole nother series that I'll be doing as well from another writer, but, respectfully, I'm going to be reading The Stranger's Diary, and I hope that you'll stay tuned and subscribe. And if you're interested, come back, hit the notification bell. So, let's get to it. I don't know if I mentioned, but her name is Moinetta, and I believe that's how you pronounce her name. And many people who buy vintage items or papers, they will generally smell them, and I'm going to do the same thing. So, you know what it smells like if you've ever been in the oldest part of a library or a very old library or an old school? That's what it smells like. It doesn't smell musty to me. It doesn't smell bad. It smells like an old book. All right, guys. So, fun stuff. This diary came with some newspaper clippings. So at one point in the future, we can take a look at them. All right, so I'm just going to read, and I hope that you enjoy. So here we go with Moinetta. And I'm going to start with January 1st. Duh, hello. I don't know if you can see anything there. She says she is at Enterprise Street, wherever that is. She talks about the weather at the beginning, mostly of every entry that I've read, which is like 5 or 10 pages. So it is, let's see. What is this word? Oh boy, we're starting off rough. Frost with a very little bit of snow. Home all day. Cleaning closet. Ooh. I feel for you, Moinetta. And packing my big trunk to leave home. Is she running away? I hope not. But I love that she's packing a trunk. So we're talking about 1953. That's pretty cool. She didn't refer to it as a suitcase. So how cool is that? I'm going to Melrose, Massachusetts on the 6th. Supper in my bedroom. Had canned lobster. Okay. Had the canned lobster that Vera gave me. Good. About 4:15 p.m. So tired. I then had to sleep. Verna phoned me. So we have a Vera that's in a Verna. I wonder if those are twins. I wonder if those are her daughters. Ooh, who are these people? I'm still at the Frasers. Oh, so she's not even home. She's traveling. Mrs. Fraser had company in the evening. The Taylors. Okay, so let's get some things straight to set off our story here. Her name is Moinetta. She is getting ready to go on a trip. She's packing her trunk, and she cleaned out a closet. So she's staying with someone. She's staying with the Frasers, and she said that she was going to be headed to Melrose, Massachusetts on the 6th, which is 5 days from then. She ate some canned lobster for dinner, and she ate it in her room, which if you're staying with someone, you probably, might not be eating dinner with them every night. And yeah, so Verna gave her the canned lobster, and Vera gave her the canned lobster, and Verna phoned her. So who are these gals? Are they her daughters, sisters, aunts? Are they twins? Ooh, can't wait to find out. Okay. So many questions. All right. So the next day, let's see. Fine, beautiful day. Frosty during the morning. I went downtown and got some money exchanged to go away. It said something 25 something on the Canadio. I believe it's a French word for it's a type of train. I'll explain later. After 2 more, I got home. Got a letter from Frances. So who is Frances? Saw Mrs. B, because I cannot pronounce that name, on the bus. Minnie leaves for Bermuda tomorrow. Well, she knows somebody who is traveling. So I wonder if Minnie is Mrs. B's daughter. Mrs. V. Oh, she saw this other woman during the morning, and the woman spent the evening there. And Verna came in for a moment and left me $5. Okay, so this must be her daughter, because why is she leaving her $5? And $5 in 1953, I wonder what that exchange was worth. All right, the next day. And when I tell you she discusses the weather every time, it's true. She does. And I've written in my own diary journal, whatever you want to call them, for 27 years. And it's mainly just similar to this, like not anything long and drawn out. But I did in mine talk about the weather. That's bizarre. Okay, so the next night, dull, then it rained. At night, it rained very, very hard. I went out calling in the afternoon. See, even back then, when they go to visit people, they call it go out calling. That sounds like, something you would see in an old movie. Went down to see Mrs. O something, her tree. Well, must have been a very exciting tree. Had a lovely lunch. From there, I went up to call on Mrs. Duffy. She wrote, she did a lot of talking. I told you, she's a spicy. She is adorable. I'm not kidding you. She did a lot of talking. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that right above my finger. I love that. George and children came home. Then Mr. Duffy came home off the train. They wanted me to stay for supper, but I thought not. Probably because the wife would not stop talking and she was like, I gotta go. I don't know. Good luck with your husband. I'm gonna go home. Thanks. Okay, so it says they got home at 6:30, which seems a little late for 1950s. I don't know. And the Frasers had company. So when she got home, her hosts had company. Let's see. Handed me, like I told you, this is difficult to read. Me down during evening. $1.44 worth of groceries. So she spent $1.44 worth of groceries, or I don't know. All right, guys, we're on to day 4. Let's see if she continues to be spicy. Fine and cool. What? Oh, looked all day like rain or snow. I wish I could read this faster. We all went to church in the morning. About 35 to 40 received right hand of fellowship. That seems like a lot of people. Got right home with the Davises. Mrs. Fraser and Lillian went back to Sunday school. Ground still have no snow. She's abbreviating as much as possible. Sort of like we do now. So I wonder if Lillian is Mrs. Fraser's daughter. Let's see. We went to church on the evening. Got right home with Mr. and Mrs. Murray. Glenn Potter came in, and Lillian has a bad cold. So Lillian went and spread her germs at church, at Sunday school, and then she came back to the house. She has a bad cold. At 10:30, Mrs. Fraser and Lillian came in, and we listened to Billy Graham from South Korea. So that is a historical reference, and Billy Graham had to get permission. I only know this tiny bit of history, and hopefully I'm not saying it wrong, but Billy Graham had to get permission from, hold on one second. Sorry guys, I had to plug in. My phone was going to die. So Billy Graham was, or I believe he's passed, was an evangelical minister, and he wanted to go and do missionaries, and he had to get permission from the United States government in order to travel to South Korea to do mission for military troops and other people. So they listened to Billy Graham on the radio. Wow. I like when there's historical things in there because, you know, history happens, but like, it's always the question, well, where were you when, you know, this happened? Or do you remember when this happened? And so she wrote it down. All right. So if you're still with me, you are interested in this type of thing, and I appreciate you. So we sort of have the same type of mindset. All right. So the next day, we're on day 5. So we only have a few more days left to talk about. She wrote, very fine day. I went over to Mrs. Duffy's and took an umbrella home. So maybe they were expecting rain or snow or something. Took bus and went down to Eaton's, which was a department store, exchanged stockings. Now, if you are too young to know what stockings are, they are pantyhose. And if you're too young to know what pantyhose are, just Google it. Actually, Hey Google, what are old-fashioned pantyhose?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
She said she doesn't know. She doesn't even know. Hey Google, what are old-fashioned stockings called?
According to Wikipedia, fully fashioned stockings are stockings with characteristic reinforcements on the heel and top, a so-called keyhole at the back of the top, and a stitched back seam in between. People also ask me, what are vintage stockings called? Want to hear the answer?
Sure.
On the website revivalvintage.co.uk, they say, these traditional stockings were known as fully fashioned in that they were fashioned to the shape of the leg as nylon did not stretch. For this reason, they came in a large number of sizes. These traditional stockings were knitted flat and then the two sides were joined manually by hand with a fine seam up the back.
Thank you. Make sure she turns off. Cancel. Google, cancel. I'm just learning how to use this. So now you should know what stockings are. Okay, so she went and exchanged a pair of stockings. Then she went to the station and got her ticket to Melrose. It cost $36.70. That sounds like a lot back then. Like if she did her grocery, she got some groceries and it was only $1.44. She just spent a train ticket for $36. So interesting. Went to the Sunshine Bakery and got a double loaf of bread to take to Gertrude. Verna over and packed my dresses for me. See, Verna must be a daughter. Okay, so she went to a Sunshine Bakery. Do you know what a Sunshine Bakery is? I live in South Florida and we, actually just recently there was a Sunshine Bakery local. But it has a really cute logo. It's a little girl, I think with a flower, I believe. Anyway, Google it and you can see what it was. So that's pretty cool. She went and got a double loaf of bread. Interesting. I wonder if that just means 2 loaves of bread. I don't know. We could ask Google. All right. So Verna came over and packed her dresses for her. She received a letter and a check from the Frasers. James and Hannah brought me to the station, and Verna came to the train to see us off. 2:55 p.m. Began to snow in St. John that night. We had lunch in St. John in the train station office. Left St. John about 9:20. So they had a short layover at the train station and they ate some dinner. All right, so we're on to the 6th day. So they were traveling yesterday. So it says Hannah had 6. Okay, so she's traveling with Hannah. And Hannah came into the story with who? Do you guys remember Hannah? Hannah came into the story with who? I'll have to find it out. So she's traveling with Hannah, whoever she is. And it says, Hannah had 6 bags to carry. And I chased around for red caps for her, which I believe are, gentlemen, let's ask Google. Hey, Google. In the 50s, what were red caps at train stations?
On the website americanhistory.c.edu, they say, railroad station baggage handler's cap. This cap, ca. the 1950s, is characteristic of such caps seen at railroad stations throughout North America from the 1920s till about the 1980s. The cloth appears to be silk, which gives a sheen to the cap's fabric. Silk was not unusual for red caps. People also ask me, what is a red cap train? Want to hear the answer?
No, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, the red caps were the baggage handlers. We are just learning so much tonight. Stockings, red caps, etc. All right, so after she chased around for the red caps, I slept quite a lot that night on the train. Each one had at blank himself. Still morning. Arrived at North Station 13 minutes late. So that train was late, but not by much. Then I began searching. Poor Moinetta. Then I began searching for red caps for Hannah. Something her sister. Okay. Her sister in car arrived for her. Okay, so maybe she was traveling with Hannah and Hannah went on with her sister. So now Moinetta is now off on her adventure. I got to Gertrude's nearly 10. Not looking for me so soon. Uh-oh. She got to Gertrude and Gertrude was like, I didn't know you were coming in so early. Sure, come in. We're still cleaning up our mess. I'm embarrassed. I don't know. That's what I'm imagining. Had a cup of tea, then went to sleep. Gertrude called me at 2 for dinner, then slept again. The trunks came. Slept good all night. Very tired. I imagine she was. She did spend, it looks like, a day and a half of travel and running around. So finally, we're on day 7. Let's see. Arrived at North State. Oh, so maybe she was just staying over for one night. It says arrived at the North Station at 8:45 a.m. Hannah's sister-in-law met her, still storming. Took Melrose train for Gertrude's. Is she writing this and not in the right order? It seems like it. Because she's already at Gertrude's yesterday. We'll just pretend. Got a taxi at Melrose and came up, arrived 9:50 a.m. Gertrude, surprise! Poor Gertrude. Listen, I understand Gertrude because if you come to my door, family or friend or stranger, and you knock and you did not tell me, I'm not answering the door. I'm not answering the door. I'm not coming to it. And if you're family, you know, you got to plan things out. No. So, and plus, I believe like in the 50s, there were a lot of, social rules, and showing up very, very early to someone's home was probably, what is the word, a faux pas? Like, you should not do that. So Gertrude was very surprised. Then had a cup of tea. They went to bed. Oh, not they. Then went to bed and slept good. She called at 2 for dinner. Now she's sort of writing the same thing from yesterday. She must be just so exhausted. She didn't even know she wrote the same thing the day before. After dinner, I slept again. Trunks came. Yeah, she's rewriting the same story. And I unpacked. All well. Stopped snoring. It doesn't say snoring. Stopped snowing in the afternoon. Sent Verna and Francesca letter. Got 1 bottle of milk. Oh, I'm sure she wrote in the letter. Gertrude didn't know I was arriving at this time. I think that's wonderful. I love that. This woman, I love her. Moinetta, got my heart, girl. So she got 1 bottle of milk. All right. We're only at 11:44, so we are going to keep going. Day 8. Fine in the morning. Still tired. It looks like it says got wood Archie was coming. Oh, got word Archie was coming. Arrived at 3 o'clock. Both delicious, thick steak. Okay, let me start over. Really. Hold on. Got word that Archie was coming. He arrived at 3 o'clock and he brought delicious, thick steak. Does that make more sense? 2 pans of rolls, cream, strawberries, 2 tablespoons of butter, box candy, 2 tablespoons, probably 2 tubs, box candy, grapes, brought Gertrude an electric clock, gave me $5. I mean, he was dishing out the food, the money, the presents. Norma came in for a while. Then Burl got here about 5 o'clock. They stayed all night. Began snowing. So we have a lot of players on this day. I wonder if she's there visiting for a get together. I mean, it's January, so maybe somebody's having a birthday or she's just traveling, visiting. I don't know. But let me tell you, we like Archie. Archie brought the food, the gifts, and the money. That's awesome. And Burl got there at 5 o'clock, just in time to eat and probably go to bed. So I wonder who Burl is. Maybe Burl is Gertrude's husband. Okay. So the next day, 9th day, still snowing, bad storm. Archie got taxi to go to the train about 9:15 a.m. Telephone from North Station that Burl better get taxi and go, as storm was so bad. She had lunch and left by taxi. Maybe Burl's a woman. Okay. She had lunch and left by taxi at 11:45. Gertrude and I salted cod for dinner. I love cod. But it she wrote but was not good. What? Had sleep in the afternoon. Yeah. Stopped snowing, but raining a little. Burl got to Newton safely. So Burl's traveling. Burl came in. She left by taxi and train. And that's back when the train station would call you and tell you, you better get a taxi and come in because you're going to get stuck. Okay, so the salted cod didn't go well. I mean, do you love this lady or what? Okay, 15 minutes. We're going to do one more page. All right. The 10th day. She wrote, the weather was dull. Big fall of something. Everyone's shoveling. Oh, big fall of snow. I don't know this northern lingo for weather because I live in Florida and I'm a Floridian. So, I mean, I've been up north when it is snowing and freezing and icicles and all that kind of stuff, but I've never had to shovel snow or anything like that. So forgive me. Okay, so everyone was shoveling. Gertrude has gone to Melrose with the empanadas, I don't know, this morning, shopping. Looks like another storm. I have just cleaned Gertrude's front steps. Every man is shoveling snow. Holy moly. Big storm Friday. We are snowed in. Said 12 inches fell. Oh my goodness. And wait a minute, Gertrude is gone with another family shopping somewhere. On top of that came a sleet storm, which makes traveling dangerous. Mrs. Gorcum shoveled the walk so we can get out, then came in for a while. I imagine needed to sit down and warm up and like relax. Francis phoned at 6 p.m. No snow there. They're missing all the action. Ira talked with Burl tonight. Wow, that's sort of funny though. You know, Gertrude leaves at the right time. Everybody's shoveling the snow, every man for himself. Sleet. She's shopping. No snow here. The next day, the 11th, and this is the final page. 17 minutes. Dull, then it rained. Went to church with the Gorkins. Rained quite hard. Turned colder at night. And that is all our dear Moinetta had to say for that. So, she's a trip. Is she not a trip? Love her, love her, love her. And we haven't even gotten through half of January, the first half of January. So I hope you come back and watch part 2 of this video. And the next one, I'll try to stick it to just 15 minutes. Comment below if you don't mind a little bit longer. But I think 15 minutes is good. Plus, I will not have to do the whole introduction about what I'm doing, etc., etc. So thank you so much and take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye.